I'm Edie Lush, Executive Editor of Hub Culture here in Davos 2023. Very pleased to have Maëlle Gavet stop into the studio. Thanks so much.
Thanks for having me.
CEO of Techstars. Before we get into what you do, I'd love to hear your thoughts on the theme that has been discussed at the World Economic Forum this week, collaboration in a fragmented world. When I say those words, what does it make you think of?
Hope. We work a lot with entrepreneurs, and when we see all the innovation that is happening around the world and how much it gets people together, entrepreneurs, governments, investors, mentors from all around the world, we have a lot of hope about the fact that the fragmentation is going to be reduced and there's going to be more global projects.
So I love that there's hope. Tell me about some of the innovations that you see that are driving the feeling of hope.
There are a few areas right now which are very, very hot for investors, and we're the largest pre-seed investor in the world, so we see a lot of industries from all around the world. Fintech is a big one, not just the most advanced fintech part for developed nation, but also for developing countries to help their population jumpstart access to banking systems. Lots of things happening around climate change and sustainability. Again, all around the world, with a focus on water and decarbonization. Very interesting things happening in health tech. Again, all around the world, including in developing countries, because there is a movement right now to help population who traditionally do not have access to healthcare to get access to it faster, better, and cheaper.
Really interesting. Give me an example of some of the companies that have surprised you with their idea or how fast they're coming to market. Give me a sense.
We have so many of them. Again, 3,500 in our portfolio now. We have companies that have created a new type of cement that has a significantly smaller carbon footprint, which are more resistant and cheaper to produce. We have companies that are focused on the unbanked and helping them getting access to a proper saving system. We have one of the company that I like particularly is a company that is working on renewable fuel. They literally create fuel from the air, and they work with big company like Alaska Airline or Cruise.
How do you create fuel from the air?
So I'm not the one who's running this company, thanks God, because otherwise we would not get very far. But that's the type of innovation that makes me hopeful about what's coming in the next decade.
I'd love to hear about how you invest. Who do you invest in? What's the criteria?
So we invest very early stage. We joke sometimes that we invest when it's literally 2 people and a dog. So really, really early stage. We look for what we call unstoppable founders, people who have this resilience and this drive and this agility, because when you're an entrepreneur, there are so many things that are going to happen on your path to success. We look at ideas that are focused on big problems, because usually big problems mean big solution, which means big money, because again, we're in investors. We have institutional LPs which expect IR from us. And then we spend a lot of time with them, because we don't just give them a check. This is important, but we also have programs dedicated to help them, whether it's accelerator program or even before that, we have a lot of development activities. And then we give them access to a huge network. We have 8,000 mentors in the world, 24,000 investors who have invested in one of our portfolio companies. And so we're looking for these founders who have the potential but not the opportunity, because we believe that talent is distributed evenly around the world, but opportunity is not. And what we're doing is giving them opportunity with capital, education/programs, and then a huge network.
What's the split of the men, women, the age range, any other measures of inclusion that you might include?
So we care a lot about that. We call ourselves a universal investor. We believe that our portfolio should reflect as much as possible the world around us. So we're very proud to say that we have well over 35% of our companies that we have invested in since for the last 3 years, which have a woman as a leader of the company.
Right on.
Exactly. And then we have been working extensively in the US around racial diversity. We have a partnership with JP Morgan. We raised a fund on their wealth platform that is focused on Black and brown founders in the US. And that program, it's an $80 million fund. We've started making investment, and the first batch of investment, we had close to 70% of the founders there that were Black or brown.
Amazing. And what's the level of investment you give?
So at the pre-seed level, we invest $120,000. And then we also, as I say, we give them access to programs for free. That's part of the investment. And then we do follow-on investment for the best of them.
Fantastic. Maëlle, thanks so much for stopping into the studio. Here in Davos, I'm Edie Lush.